Well, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the Benjamin Z. Miller Investor Networking Group. Tonight, we have a really exciting presentation. We are going to be talking about apartment complex investing and how this can be something that is an absolute asset for you in terms of creating wealth for your portfolio and giving you a lot of opportunity with the apartment complex investing. It's something that really is good news. So, okay, very good. Let's go through this here. We've got basically, as with all real estate, apartment investing, it offers the advantages of income where you get the rental income. It offers the tax benefit of depreciation. It also offers equity growth where over time, the equity actually grows. And then you get appreciation in the price as the equity is where you basically are paying down your mortgage. So every month that a mortgage is paid, the balance of that mortgage, if it's not an interest-only loan, it decreases. So you build equity. We also have appreciation, which is something that basically with that, the forces of supply and demand and inflation, they all work together to build appreciation. And then, of course, a nice advantage is that you get good leverage. You can put down a small amount and then you can make a lot more. So if we compare to, say, the S&P 500 index fund, it has an income yield of about 1.82%. A 10-year treasury bond might have a yield of around 2.9%. And an unleveraged rental property would show a 7% income yield on average. But many investors, they mistakenly believe it is too expensive to invest in apartment complexes, and instead they waste years buying small homes. I mean, it's fun to buy homes. I still do it, but really multifamily is so much better. It has a disproportionate effect with multifamily investing. So very good on that. What is a mistake that new real estate investors make? Well, the number one mistake is they buy the wrong asset class. They buy single family homes. Now, it's not that big of a problem if you buy single family homes. I still buy single family homes, but really you can't compare single family homes to multifamily. Multifamily has significantly more benefit in terms of what it offers to investors. And a lot of investors, they'll buy a small portfolio of 10 or 20 rental homes. And from that 10 or 20 rental homes, they'll invest maybe a couple hours to 4 hours a month on each property, managing it or indirectly managing it. So it costs them 20 to 40 hours of their time to manage that small portfolio. And if they had instead purchased one apartment complex in 90 days, they could own 50 to 100 units instead of only having 20 to 40 units. And I see this often. I've seen landlords that they work all their life and they get a collection of 20 or 30 houses, and it has worn them out. They're exhausted. They have spent their life fighting that battle, and it's not a good sign. That's where a burned out landlord comes from. That is where a burned out landlord comes from. So this is something that is so important that people understand that, it's a lot easier if you just do multifamily. It does take more education than if you are just starting out. Sure, it's easier for people to understand how to buy a single family home, but multifamily is really and truly where the money is. So it is something that is very exciting and a great opportunity for people. What are some of the benefits of apartment investing? Well, there's a lot of benefits with apartment investing. The first benefit is, of course, the cash flow. You can obtain significantly more cash flow if you've got 100 units or 200 units. I mean, you can't even compare the cash flow. It's also far easier to manage because you're not going to manage it. You will hire a property management company. And on a larger complex, that property management company is on site where they take care of everything for you. So talk about convenient. Your cost of maintenance also drops because you've got dedicated people that are there on site. Another big advantage is that government loans, and this is not only in the United States, this is in other countries as well, but government loans, the government always has as a goal to make housing more affordable, because if they can do that, it makes voters happy. So the government backs loans for multifamily that it does not for other assets. So if you're a multifamily investor and you're taking out a big government loan of millions of dollars, you're going to get more favorable treatment than if you're a net lease investor who's going around buying up single tenant net lease like Dollar General or Walgreens. If you're a multifamily investor, you have a huge advantage there in terms of favorable loans. So that is so, so important. And then I want to also, if we have some people that have come in and they are new people, I want to take just a minute and direct your attention, please, to the chat window. There should be in the chat window an investor sign-in sheet, and I ask you to please put your information in there so that we can get you a copy of this presentation, and so that we can also get you a copy of the other investors that are here. It should be in the top, a little red number 1 near chat. You should be able to see it. If you click on that, there'll be a Google Sheets document. So what is the second mistake that new real estate investors make? Well, the second mistake that they make is they believe that since they don't have enough money to buy an apartment complex, they cannot participate in the doubling of money over 3 to 6 years while earning 6% on their money, approximately. So they just are not even aware that that's a possibility. They think that to buy a 10 million apartment complex, they need at least 2 or 3 million for a bank down payment. The reality of it is you can invest in an apartment complex with as little as 25,000, although more typical would be 50,000 to 100,000. That would be a bit more typical. But the same 25 to 100K can turn into 50K to 200K, double on the money in maybe 3 to 7 years, paying out roughly 6%. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that these deals are structured, but you can get a good solid return. Now, here's a couple examples of real apartment communities, and we'll look at one here. This is for 25 million. This is in Texas. It's an 89 unit apartment building. And then we've got one that is in Houston, Texas. It's 11 million. And then we have another one that is in Phoenix, Arizona, which is 85 million. And that one's actually 266 units. Now, another thing that I want to point out is that the cap rate. Another mistake that a lot of new investors make is they chase high cap rates, where they think that, well, I want more money, and I know a high cap rate pays more money, so I'm going to go buy anything that has a higher cap rate, because if I can get a 15% cap rate, that's a lot better than a 6% cap rate, because I can make more money. This is a mistake. You will find that higher quality assets and higher quality apartment communities, they have lower cap rate, and a lower cap rate is directly correlated with higher quality income stream and fewer headaches and less of your time being involved. So if you're looking for assets, assuming that they're priced by a knowledgeable broker and not just you've got some seller that's like, oh, I think I'm going to price mine at a really low cap rate. That's the thing that sellers love to do. If they're trying to sell their own complex, they like to misprice a little bit on smaller complexes. You don't see that so much on larger ones. Now, there's different classes. There's Class A, and this is interesting, and I want to point something out, because Class A is the apartment communities that are in the best shape. They're generally the newest. Class A assets are usually not the best for the individual investor. And the reason for that is when you start buying Class A assets, you are now going into competition with pension funds, with insurance companies, and those companies have very low demands in terms of rate of return. So they will accept incredibly low cap rates. A premium asset that's a premium multifamily in San Francisco, it could have a cap rate that's like 2.5, 3%. Whereas if you are talking about something that is in another area, maybe an older apartment complex that's in a primary market, it might have a 5% cap rate. And if you talk about something that's not a primary market, not a big city, not a primary market, you might see a cap rate rise to maybe 6.5%, 7% on an older thing. But trying to buy Class A multifamily, it's not the best way because you're going to have a hard time doubling your money in a short period of time. And if you're in this to make money, you will do better and you'll have an easier life if you focus on Class B and Class C. The classic advice is you want to buy a Class C multifamily in a Class B neighborhood so that then you can have it repaired, get the rents up, and then you can do a huge profit when you sell, or you can do a cash out refinance. So how is a multifamily apartment complex purchased? Well, normally what happens is the general partner, they find the deal and they negotiate with the seller. For example, I'm involved in a deal right now where I'm negotiating with a seller to buy his multifamily complex. It's in Texas. And that is something that by the time it goes to the limited partners, I'll have already worked out all of the details in terms of what is the purchase price, where I will have arranged the loan as well. So all of that will be taken care of. But normally on, say it's a $10 million apartment community, the down payment it might be $3 million roughly. A bank will finance maybe 70 to 80%. So what happens is the general partner, they will go and they will actually syndicate to limited partners, which are just people that have money, maybe a doctor, maybe a dentist, maybe somebody that has the money, but they don't have the time. They don't have the time to learn all the intricacies of multifamily. And there's a lot to know about multifamily. It's not as simple as it looks. If you're not working with a general partner that's been doing this for 10 or 20 years, that is something you should really think carefully about. Now, I know if you're working with a friend or a family member, that's one thing, but you'll have a far easier time if you invest with experienced people. For example, the group that I am organizing to acquire this asset that's in Texas, it's got the members of the group that I put together have over 1,100 units that are owned already by the group. So there's some experience there with multifamily. And then basically after 3 to as long as theoretically 10 years, but more normal would be 3, 4, 5 years. 5 years is kind of right where it should be. It'll be sold and you can double your money. So that is kind of the advantage on that. And then I've got here another thing that I want to show. Another thing that some people are not familiar with is mezzanine finance in multifamily. And this is something where mezzanine finance is where if you have to come up with that $3 million down payment, a general partner, they can actually reach out and they can contact a mezzanine lender, and the mezzanine lender will participate in the deal. Now, they charge a high interest rate, so it's not really something that you normally would want to do unless you are on a short window, where if you're running out of time to raise the rest of the money, you could bring in a mezzanine lender. So that is something that is worthwhile to know. But mezzanine is a debt layer that's between senior and pure equity. So the pure equity is the if you had 3 million that you're raising on a 10 million multifamily, that 3 million would be pure equity. But mezzanine actually gets involved where they contribute equity, but they have you sign some legal documents giving them more rights, where they are actually, they're between the senior debt and the pure equity. So it's an interesting business. So how can I double money with an apartment complex? The first advice is don't invest on your own. You stack all of the odds against you. In order to make money, you need to be dealing with larger properties, ideally more than 100 doors. That doesn't mean that you can't ever buy one that's less than 100 units, but the larger the apartment community, the more advantages typically are at play. But that doesn't mean that you should rule out smaller ones necessarily. From time to time, a good deal may come by, but you don't want to be the general partner on your first few deals. This can work against you, especially if you are new. It is far, far better to invest with someone that has experience. Hello? It's far better to invest with someone that has experience and then just kind of learn with them. And that way you don't have to make a lot of mistakes on your first deal. You can learn a lot that way. And you want to make sure that you're working with general partners that have a long history of success. Kind of ideal is if the group you're investing with, they should already be experienced, where they have a lot of years in the business and where they've already acquired a lot of units. Okay, so apartment investing, it's a team sport. You have the general partner, that's the one that knows what they're doing and actually negotiates and finds the deals. You've got a property management company. That property management company, they check with the tenants and they handle all of the maintenance. You've got the limited partners, those are the doctors and the dentists and the high earners and the savers, that they basically have cash and they're looking to participate. They want to have their money doubled, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to find a deal. They don't know how to manage this sort of an asset. And then you have the lender. The lender is another team member. Working with great people is the way to get great results in investing. That is so, so true. So how can I find a multifamily property and double my money in 3 to 5 years? I've got a short clip here that I'm going to play for you. Hello, folks. Hello. My name is Benjamin Z. Miller. And today I am going to answer the question, how can I find an off-market multifamily investment opportunity with no competition? So we have an investor here that wants to know, how can I find a multifamily opportunity that's off market, where it's not for sale publicly? That's a smart idea. That's a smart idea. Okay, well, very good. First, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, just like this video. Okay, the answer is, are you looking for an off-market investment opportunity with zero competition? If so, it's important to know that most multifamily sellers aren't going to want to sell to a new investor who contacts them directly. This is where an experienced investor, like, for example, myself or another experienced investor, can be helpful. I have a deep understanding of the multifamily market and can provide valuable insights to new investors. By working with me and developing a proper business relationship, where over a few months or a year or two, we get to know each other better, I can share deals with you. If you're an accredited investor and you're serious about investing, oh, I've got a lot of opportunities. Joining my investor networking group can also be a great way to find off-market multifamily investment opportunities. My group consists of experienced investors that are all over the world, in the United States, in the UK, Germany, Poland, Ukraine, I mean, all over the world, Sweden. We got investors from all over that join my group. And you can network with some really quality people. When you are looking for an off-market multifamily opportunity, you need to be patient. You need to be patient and to work with someone who has experience in the market. I wouldn't suggest doing it on your own. That's the hard way. If you want to do it the easy way, find someone like myself And I've already got a deal pipeline that would take you years to build from scratch. And I know a lot of the top investors in the multifamily space anyway. So that is something that is so important. By taking action and joining my investor networking group, we meet every Sunday. It's on Zoom. You can meet from the convenience of your home or your office. You can just join, log on to the meetings. We have a meeting once a week on Sunday. You can learn so much about multifamily investing. We just love to work with new investors. So that's fantastic. And that is really important. The best and the easiest way to find a deal is to work with somebody that's already experienced, that already has a pipeline of deals. And I will also mention something also that I do. This may or may not be relevant, but I want to point it out. If you know someone that is a single family landlord and they may have purchased maybe 10 or 20 or 50 houses and they want to sell all of those, or they are tired of managing them, I offer a really unique program where they can trade those houses in, they can get cash, they can trade the houses in, and they can receive ownership in multifamily properties, one or more, depending on the value of their assets. But it's done based on an appraised value. It's a fair deal. And I can provide them with a solution if they just can't keep up with it. And I have worked with people in the past where they have a package of houses and they really want to do something with them. This is just an excellent opportunity, and I want to point that out. My name is Benjamin Z. Miller, and today this video is directed at burned out landlords. Are you the type of landlord that started out years ago and you were so excited to be a real estate investor, so excited to watch your rental property count build up? First you got 10, then you got 20, and you just got to a point where you realized, wait a minute, I was doing this because I wanted to get rich and I wanted passive income, but I don't get any passive income because I spend all my time dealing with property managers or tenants. I have to work. And as far as getting rich, I get rich in terms of a lot of headaches that come to me. And yeah, I've got a little bit on paper. I got some paper equity in it. I've got something for you to consider. If you would like to have an easier life and not deal with your tenants anymore, if you'd like to just be able to one and done it and have it all over with, boy, have I got a solution for you. Contact me and we can talk about some apartment complexes that you could receive ownership in. I've got some available. And then what we can do is you can transfer those houses that you don't want anymore, that are a headache, and just receive ownership in an apartment complex, or possibly more than one apartment complex, depending on what you want to do. But wouldn't that be nice to just have it converted to mailbox money where it's coming in for you easier, and not have the hassle of trying to list 10 rental properties and deal with all the annoying low ball tire kicker buyers coming in that want to use their negotiating 101 skills on you, and you're already an experienced professional that's seen it all and done it all. Wouldn't it be nice to just have a simple solution? I think it'd be a good idea for you to have a conversation with me. We could discuss what you might want to do. I could tell you about some of the opportunities that I have available. I think it would be productive. So if you're a burned out landlord, or if you just are tired of hassling with it and you finally the light bulb has finally gone off where you realize, wait a minute, these single family homes are just a waste of time. What I should be doing is buying apartments. I need to get more doors. Let me help you with that. I work in this area. I've got some relationships with some of the most experienced sponsors, and I can basically get that done for you very efficiently. I would love to talk with you. So, okay, fantastic. So if you or someone you know has a package of houses and they are not enjoying being a landlord, I can help them with that, where I can get them passive income, I can get them cash, And I can make that transaction so smooth and so easy for them. So whether it's 10 houses or 20 houses or 50 houses, whatever it is, I can help them with that. I've got multiple multifamily properties that I can basically trade them plus some cash for them and what they're looking to accomplish. So that is something that I want to point out there. So here's the end of our presentation, and then I'll take questions. I just have a couple of announcements I'm going to make, and then I'll stop the recording, and I'll be happy to answer any and all questions. So the take-home message for today is you don't want to lose out on the power of multifamily investing. Don't get sidetracked losing a lot of years buying homes. There's nothing wrong with buying homes. I do it myself. But don't think that it's going to provide you with a significant amount of cash flow. If you're doing it just for fun or just as a hobby, that's fine. But if you're trying to make money, multifamily is a better track. Another thing is every Thursday, I want to invite you and anyone watching this video we have 2 passive income Thursdays that are available. The first is with Alamo Mortgage Holdings. This is a company that can pay you passive income. And then we have Andesite Blue, another company. Andesite Blue is actually going to be investing into the reconstruction of Ukraine. So very exciting and good opportunity there. Alamo Mortgage Holdings is a company that buys mortgage debt in the United States and can pay passive income. So very good on that. And then just a reminder, please don't forget to fill in the sign-in sheet. That really helps us out if you put your name and your email and your phone and just a few notes on what you're interested in. I share that list with other people. And, it's an opportunity where you can meet some really quality people. And we have had deals actually happen from meetings in this group. Somebody maybe filled out the sign-in sheet. Somebody else saw the sign-in sheet and contacted them and then actually did a deal. I'm trying to get information on that, but I know that we've had several deals that have happened. And you also, next week, we have this meeting every week. You're welcome to invite your friends and your family. Come one, come all. We welcome everyone. Love to work with people. So that is our presentation. And then the last reminder is that I am available for mentoring. I love to work with people, whether you're new or experienced. If you're an experienced investor and you think you already know everything, talk to me because I bet you I can show you some things you haven't seen. And if you're a new investor, definitely contact me because I can save you a lot of pain and hassle and suffering. So